Hello, and welcome to this Workday Now demonstration of Workday Learning. My name is J.R. Weimer. I'm a Senior Solutions Consultant with Workday, and I'll be your tour guide, if you will, on our journey today to educate you on our learning solution. The majority of my background before coming to Workday was working with legacy LMS providers, so learning is a huge passion of mine, and I'm super excited to show you some of the capabilities Workday brings to the table. One thing to point out right out of the gate is that Workday is one product. We are truly one singular solution. So the days of complex, fragile integrations between core HR, talent, and learning, multiple UIs that kind of look the same but really aren't, limited visibility to data, and an inability to leverage modern technology, concepts like video, dynamic campaigns, interactions, peer-generated learning, those days are long gone. There are no integrations in Workday. It's one product. This means learning is naturally a part of the system of record. As employees are hired, promoted, aligned to new projects, Workday sees that real time, and the impact on learning and recommendations is immediate. One single data model, one experience for all. Workday Learning is helping our customers move the needle, transform business outcomes by empowering organizations with a fresh, social, and engaging approach to learning and the distribution of knowledge and information. In short, we help blend learning management with learning enablement for the business. Now, before we dive into product, let's set the table for the challenges we're looking to solve in context with these key trends. One of the key challenges is sheer engagement. It can be pretty simple to get an employee to do the stuff that's required of them. You mandate it. You make it a requirement of their job. Even if the experience is horrible, they'll complete that training. They'll do it. But most traditional LMSs become a ghost town after that. People do the requirements and they move on. The real challenge is getting them to stay and gain knowledge on the things that can directly impact the strategy of the business, to access material that is relevant, timely, and personal, a personalized experience to help them better perform in their current job, but also qualify them for the careers of the future. Another trend is the experience. Companies see learning as a strategic driver of the organization. But at the same time, your employees have a consumer-grade expectation with how they learn in their personal lives. You need modern ways of accessing material via mobile devices across multiple modalities. Additionally, the organization needs to not only reduce friction to access, but also reduce friction to knowledge, allowing those with experience to complement the catalog with right-sized material that is governed, validated, and vetted before it's made accessible. A true learning enablement, from consumption to creation to curation. And the last challenge is insight. It cuts across all of these trends. Organizations of all sizes struggle with providing visibility to how learners are engaging with material. And with concepts like peer learning, it's not just about who is consuming material, but who is contributing material as well. And how can the organization reward that contribution with kudos and badges, but also something like a spot bonus or a gift card. With Workday being one system, you get both. The ability to gain insight, but most importantly, to also take action against it. And again, all of this needs to reflect a consumer's expectation, your employee's expectation. It has to be high quality, intuitive design, easy to understand and figure out. The material has to be right-sized for the situation and has to be mobile accessible as well. So with all of that on the table, let's dive into Workday and showcase how we solve some of these challenges. Let's start with the Workday mobile experience. If you go out to the respective app stores and search Workday, you'll find one app. So not a separate app for expenses, or a separate app for reporting, or a separate app for learning. Workday is one product. Let's jump right to the notifications, and you'll see that someone in the organization has made a recommendation of this content, this video, to me. These notifications cut across all of Workday. If I'm a manager, who on my team has a birthday, whose certification is about to expire. But as an employee, this can inform me of approaching due dates as well. In this particular example, I appreciate Katarina's social recommendation, so I decide to take a look. And right from here, I can access that lesson, in this particular case, a video. As we play the video, notice how responsive the video design is, because Workday has optimized video delivery for smart streaming and playback. Based on the limits of your connection, Workday will optimize the speed of this video to ensure, again, a consumer-grade experience. Employees also have the ability to vary the playback speed of a video. So if you're not a native English speaker, or you're the type of person that takes a lot of notes as you go through material, this can personalize the learning experience to that particular individual. Let's go all the way back to the beginning and find another way of accessing learning within Workday's mobile app. I'm going to access the Applications icon, and from here take advantage of Careers. This is the single destination for an employee to go to find any open jobs, to submit referrals, or take ownership in their career development via what's called the Opportunity Graph. The Opportunity Graph is really exclusive to Workday because this is based on the history of movement around this particular individual. Because Workday is an always-on audit system of record, we understand the movement of this particular job profile that Marcus possesses. To proactively put him in the driver's seat and ask people who have shared your job before, where have they moved in the organization? 18% have moved to be a manager of global support. 6% have moved to be a manager of a call center. But the majority of individuals have become a senior customer service representative. If Marcus has an interest in that as a next step in his career, he can tap right on that job profile and learn much more detail. See detailed information about the qualifications that are required. He can see any open job postings and apply for them directly via the mobile device. He can add it to his job interest, so they can act as a job agent. Anytime new jobs are open in that area, he can be automatically notified. But I can also see top learning related for that role. So if I'm truly interested in a career in this particular arena, what are the learning activities that individuals in that role are taking? What's most popular in their view? This uses concepts of machine learning and AI within Workday Learning to drive, again, personalized recommendations to an individual, in this particular case based on a career interest. In addition, I can also see all of the other employees that are aligned in this role and maybe reach out to them, see where they sit in the org chart, ask them questions, or even align them as a potential mentor for me, a part of Workday core technology as well. Just ways of blending learning into the other application experiences that employees are having with Workday being the core HR system of record. Now from here, let's go all the way back and access the Learning homepage. The Learning homepage can really be the single destination for an employee to go to access any training that is directed towards them. A lot of times in demos, I describe this as a Netflixian approach to the design, and while that is intentional, I just want to highlight some of the really great curation tools that are at work here. Now, things like based on your interest. So with Workday, we understand an employee's areas of interest. Now, if we know that they're interested in leadership or management or sales-related content, we can drive machine learning, personalize the recommendations to an individual based on that notation of interest. We obviously have the ability to drive required learning to individuals. We can see what's recently added, so what's the freshest content on the vine, what's most popular, what's the hot topic du jour, and even drive recommendations for an individual. Because again, remember, Workday is the system of record. We have a tremendous amount of intimacy about an employee. We know much more than just their department, their division, their job code. We know things like their career interest, their job interest. We know what training someone in their role took before they got promoted. So we can use all of that rich intelligence, all of that transactional detail from the system of record to drive truly personalized recommendations to an individual, to give them a compelling experience to not just come here for the required stuff, but to stay and access the material that, again, is going to help them move the needle for the organization. Additionally, organizations can use campaigns as a way of marketing or driving a series of activities across a timeline that are marketed to an individual. Those show up here at the top of the Learning homepage, kind of a predominant screen of real estate to show these marketed events that an organization is driving to someone. Good examples of campaigns could be things like new hire orientation or a first-time manager. What's the series of activities across the next 30, 60, 90 days that you want to pace out and deliver to someone who meets that criteria? Again, Workday being the system of record has all of this transactional detail, can see that information real time, and can drive that timeline of activities, that campaign, to an individual in a completely automated way. Once I find a course that I'm interested in, say for example this Introduction to Workday Learning course that's quite popular, I tap on it and I can learn more. See the cover image, the name and description, a contact person or primary instructor that I have the potential to reach out to. I also see the structure of this particular course, a series of lessons. In this particular case, 2 videos, then reading this document, accessing this external material before I show up to a classroom activity. So instead of these being 5 independent learning interventions, you can structure them together into the context of a course in Workday Learning and blend multiple modalities. Maybe there's a lot of pre-work that we want you to do before you show up to the classroom session. After the classroom session is done, maybe there's a video to reinforce what you've learned, or a survey to collect feedback around the material, the instructor, the facility. Again, those don't have to be separated interventions. You can structure them together into the context of a course in Workday Learning. If this is really drawing my attention, as the employee, I can tap the nice, large, obvious Enroll button at the bottom and see all of the scheduled offerings, the class sessions, that are best available at a location near me or may fit my appropriate time. Because Workday is the system of record, if a worker is out on holiday or has requested time off, Workday knows that. Again, it's the system of record. So it can guide the user to avoid choosing a classroom offering that conflicts at the same time as their time off. Tell me a standalone LMS that can do that. Let's choose Chicago. I can view all the details of this course again, and notice I have a nice, large, obvious Submit button at the bottom where I can submit my enrollment request in this course through a configurable business process in Workday. So customers control the action here. Does this training require approval by a manager? If the training has a cost, does it require additional approval? Does this need to be something that's approved by learning and development? You coordinate the action and define with conditional rules what happens when an end user enrolls in a course, using the business process framework in Workday to execute against it. This is one of the key values Workday provides, the one experience. Workday drives personalization via machine learning off of the system of record. But this one experience also reduces friction to access. The same place where your employees view their payslip, request time off, submit expenses, things they do frequently, learning is just a tap away. And as it's one product, we can blend learning into core HR and talent processes in ways that competitors can't, in ways that companies deserve and employees crave. But it's not just about consumption and curation. It's also about contribution. How can an organization allow for easy sharing of knowledge across the business in a way that's controlled? This is where peer learning in Workday comes into play. So as Marcus, I'll tap on View More and go to the menu. I can see all the training that I'm enrolled in progress, not yet started, what I've completed, basically my transcript, even activities that I've been waitlisted for that has a capacity. But down at the bottom, I've been given a special privilege to create a new lesson. This is where Workday's business process framework comes into play again. Customers can decide who has this power and what happens when they initiate it. In this particular case, Marcus has taken a video on his phone that he thinks would be great for everyone in the field to be able to access. Let's give this a title, Learning 101. We'll align it to a number of topics. Think of topics like genres of film or categories of training that an organization has set. Then we can add in the detailed description, or better yet, use text-to-speech. This is a sample video I created to help individuals out in the field. From there, I can browse my phone for the video that I want to upload. This video looks good. You'll see a progress bar indicates the progressiveness of upload. And once this reaches 100%, the Workday Learning Video Service goes to work. We convert this video to multiple formats, which ensures that it works across every device, every browser, and every connection. Additionally, Workday Learning provides unlimited storage and unlimited streaming for all content. This includes packaged content like SCORM and AICC, video files, and document files as well, allowing organizations to not have to worry about capacity constraints or limited size footprints of the material they wish to deliver to their employee populations. If this is a video I'd like to submit, I tap the Submit button at the bottom, and that video goes through a configurable business process. And again, you control the rules. Does this need to be approved by a manager? Does it need to be approved by legal? Does it need to be approved by learning and development? The business process framework orchestrates all of the action with conditional rules that you define uniquely for your enterprise. Let's switch now to the browser version of Workday and switch personas completely, as I'm now in as Logan McNeil, the super administrator. She's going to act as my learning administrator for today's demonstration. We're going to access the Workday inbox. This is the single window to go if there's any Workday action that requires your approval, your sign-off, or your acknowledgement. So again, if you're requiring any action in not just learning, but compensation, approving a time-off request, approving an expense, you have a single place in Workday to go where all of those actions will funnel. As the administrator, we can now review this material that Marcus just submitted, update title, description, and topics if necessary, send it back with comments, deny it outright. In this particular case, we can approve it. And upon approval, we see the full audit trail, the who, what, where, when, date, and timestamp of everything presented, and all of the action that's contained within that business process that's been defined by the organization. But now that it's been completed, this content is immediately accessible. So let's go right back into the learning worklet, this time on the browser, and notice the consistency of design. We've got based on your interest, required for you, the menu of items that you saw on the mobile device, and now under recently added, that 5-second video with an automatically generated thumbnail is available in the catalog to be accessed. So right from here, even though Logan is my administrator, she's also an end user, she can play this video directly as well. And notice again, the snappiness, the speed and responsiveness of the video. There's no wheel of death, no buffering that has to happen because the delivery of this video is optimized to support any browser, any device, and any connection. As Logan is the administrator, she has the ability to edit this lesson and modify its details, as well as edit the media, which brings in the capability of video interactions within Workday. Video interactions are a way of adding touch points to a timeline of material, in this case a video, without taking the end user out of the context of what they're learning. So for example, at second 2, maybe I want to add in a touch point like a multiple choice question, such as what color is my jacket? We'll make blue the correct answer and add in a couple of other multiple choice options. In a matter of seconds, we've now added a point of engagement within the video timeline of the material that an end user is viewing, and not requiring them to have to leave the video, answer a question, come back, literally make it a completely cohesive experience. Maybe at the 3-second mark, I want to add in a text note or an open-ended question. I describe a text note as pop-up video. Maybe I want this text to appear for a certain amount of seconds along the right-hand side. Maybe I want the end user to click continue before they move on. Good examples of text notes might be things to summarize what someone's learned, a way of reinforcing something that they've already been presented with, key takeaway points that you want the end user to maintain. We'll click done here as well. We can add in closed captioning to support multiple languages, as well as adjust a setting to disable forward skipping. Once I'm happy with my interactions, I simply click publish, and those interactions become immediately available for end users as they watch the material. So as we now play this video as an end user, notice how automatically when we reach that point in the timeline, these questions are presented. They fly in from the right-hand side. This also works with the Workday mobile application, which is a really great experience for those that are remote or on the road. I'll submit my correct response and see that I've denoted a correct answer. We'll click continue. The video will automatically play and move me to the next point in the timeline to present this text note. Once we click continue, I finalize the video and I have the ability to see individual responses to the questions that I was presented. These questions are also scoreable in Workday Learning as well. So in a matter of seconds, you've seen us load material as an end user, validate it through a configurable business process, launch it as an end user, and add touch points and video interactions into the material as presented. This type of speed, performance, and agility is the exact thing that our customers are asking for in a modern learning solution. To finalize our demonstration, let's focus on more of the key administrator capabilities within Workday Learning, specifically available via the Learning Admin dashboard. Dashboards in Workday are a showcase piece for multiple reports, as well as an ability for customers to configure a menu of items that are key administrator-related tasks. Let's access the course completion status report first. This report gives us a high-level summary of all registrations, showing the total population that is not started, in progress, or completed with these events. Most reporting engines would stop here. You'd see the summary detail, and that's about it. But because Workday's different, I have the ability to drill down based on any element of information we capture about the learning registration. Maybe I want to focus on those activities that are not yet started, but maybe I want to look at what specific courses individuals have not engaged with, or focus on an individual, focus on a manager, focus on an organization, focus on tenure level. Again, the single system of record of Workday allows you to view from multiple dimensions the summary detail that you're looking for, but drill in to understand more. In this particular case, I see that 32 individuals have not yet started the Customer Service Akita Success course. Maybe I want to learn more. Maybe I want to understand across that population of 32 which manager has the highest amount of employees that have not yet started this particular activity. Anders has 5 people, but this number 5 is not static. It's not a flat metric. I can click into the detail and see who are those 5 individuals. What is their performance rating? What is their retention risk? Have they been identified as high potential? Are they on any succession plans? The complete data model of Workday across core HR, talent, and learning is conveniently available to me. But I'm uncompromised in my ability to do something about the information that I see as well. If I realize there's something I need to perform in relation to Anika, I can use a related action, and the complete array of HR tasks is at my disposal. If there's something that I need to do in relation to compensation, or a job change, or maybe this is someone I want to think about for talent processes, or maybe I just want to give them social feedback, kudos, or badges, or some type of notification to say, hey, it'd be really great if you get this material done, again, that a complete array of actions is at my disposal. This is where Workday blends the concept of transactions and reporting. As you view information in Workday, either as an administrator or a manager or any role in between, you have the ability to perform actions against the detail that you're viewing. It's this blend of actions and reporting that sets Workday apart. So you've just seen how Workday Learning empowers organizations by leveraging the power of one single experience, one mobile app versus a separate app for learning, one security model, one single source for all people, talent, and learning data, solving the engagement problem as you're in the system of record. You've seen the modern experience of Workday Learning and how we take advantage of our video infrastructure, delivering enterprise-scale video in a way that consumers expect, meeting that Netflix expectation, with the added ability to engage the end user with video interactions as knowledge checks and scorable achievements. Video no longer needs to be passive. And lastly, you've seen the Workday data model at work, the ability to drill into the information behind the data, gain insight into the engagement of knowledge, and ultimately transform the outcomes for the organization, to go from insight to action. My hope is that this demonstration sparks more interest in not only what Workday's capabilities are in relation to learning, but a good idea of our vision and the challenges we're looking to solve. Thank you again for your attention.